All right, it's December 10th. I took this video about a week ago, but I wanted to talk about the swing concept today and a new idea that came to me that'll I think that'll help me gain more power and smooth out my swing a little bit. Um, I'll talk about that later in the video. But let's talk about, well, came up with the acronym FUN, F-U-N, and the F stands for fundamentals. So fundamentals is the foundation of the swing. You know, just like when you build a house, you have the foundation, then you build the house on top of it. And I think in golf, it's the same way that the fundamentals are the foundation of the swing, and then you develop your own swing on top of the foundation, but everybody needs the same foundation. So the fundamentals involve the stance, posture, alignment, grip, and grip. Maybe ball position, that's kind of a matter of preference, but the stance is pretty easy. How far do you you know position your feet? How far apart do you put your feet? I think that's a preference that's personal to everybody. But the general idea is to have your feet shoulder width apart. That's what most people do. A little bit wider for the driver. You know, a little bit narrower for the shorter irons, but generally speaking, like shoulder width apart. The alignment, simple. You just align your feet, your hips, and your shoulders to the target line. Real easy. Uh, Posture. Now, posture is probably the most difficult next to the grip, but the posture, you need to bend at the hips correctly. That's the main thing about the posture, just bending at the hips correctly. And I have a video on that, easy way to bend correctly at the hips. Just basically pick something up that's in front of you at your feet, and you drop straight down, and then you'll automatically bend right at the hips. But anyway, you might want to watch that video. Uh, so so posture is important. The angles, that you have, but I mean, you get all that information on the internet. There's a lot of places that'll tell you, but they don't really tell you how to bend correctly at the hips. They just tell you to do it. They don't tell you how to do it. So so just real easy. Well, just watch my video. I think it'll help you. And then the grip. Uh, a lot these days. There's a lot of talk about, oh, is it in the fingers or is it in the palm? Or to me, it's something in between. You know, but basically, with the left hand, you want that trigger finger. You want the grip to go into that trigger finger area, and then you want the grip to go under the meaty part of the palm. So it's at a slight diagonal. You don't want the grip to go like completely at the base of all the fingers. That would really be like a baseball bat, but you don't want to hold it like that. But it has to be at a diagonal. And the way I like to say it is, I think it's you have to feel like it's slightly a strong grip. So the top of the left hand should be at a 45-degree angle. you know. And then the right hand, you just the right hand really the grip is in the fingers. It's at the base of the fingers. The reason why that is because the lifeline of the right hand sits on top of the left thumb. So it's gonna lift that part of the hand up higher, and it just causes the grip to go at the base of the right hand fingers. So uh, and again, you know, the the trigger finger on the right hand kind of separates from the other fingers, and so it's like a trigger finger there too. So there's a lot of symmetry in the grip, but anyway, that's the fundamentals pretty much, you know. And the ball position, in my opinion, it shouldn't go past the center. Uh, it shouldn't go. If you're a right-handed golfer, it should go from the left heel to center. No, there should be no ball position past the center of your stance. So that's the fundamentals. And then the U stands for understanding. You have to understand how the swing works. It's a blending of rotary power and leverage. So you could kind of say leverage is kind of the linear power, but you have to combine those two. And most amateur golfers, they don't have any kind of rotational power. It's basically all arms, hand swing. And I know there are, like Bob Toski says, "Oh, it's just, it's just all arms and hands." I love that guy, but you know what? I kind of disagree. He's rotating his body, whether he knows it or not. He has to be, but he's been doing it since he was a little kid, so it happens so automatically to him that I don't think he really realizes that his body does rotate. Anybody, you know, maybe not as much as other people, but you need some kind of rotational force to make solid contact. And the tighter you coil, the more power you're going to create. So it's like it's like the Earth when it spins. Imagine like the center of the Earth. That's like let's say like an inch in diameter. Imagine how slowly that's turning. The speed of the center of the Earth. It takes 24 hours for that inch diameter in the center of the turn to turn 360 degrees. And then the surface of the Earth, it's moving at 1,000 miles an hour. So, you know, that demonstration that Bob Toski has. He sticks his the club on his belly and he turns and he goes, "You can't create any power like that." No, but no, when you combine that with leverage, it creates a lot of power. You know, so that's the basic, and you got to have good balance and um, you have to relax too. That's important. But so you need basic understanding of how the swing works, and then the N stands for nice takeaway. You need a nice takeaway. That kind of goes into what I was saying earlier, that I found something new that I wanted to incorporate into the golf swing, in my golf swing. And, you know, there's nothing new under the sun, as it says in the Bible. So, this is probably, this idea has been out there. But what I was thinking about was the swing is a lot like the bullwhip. The when you draw a bullwhip back, you draw it back by you know you start with the handle, right? You take the handle and draw it back, and then the rest of the whip just kind of follows and then eventually it passes up the handle, and then it tugs on the handle, and then on the forward swing you would push the handle forward, and the rest of the whip would go forward, and then at the very end it would snap. That's where all the power is, at the very end. In the golf swing is a lot like that, you know. So what I think is, the the legs and the hips are like the handle of the whip, and then everything above the waist is just basically it's in it for the ride. It's not really controlling anything. Everything is really controlled by the lower body. Uh, so just like in the bullwhip, you would start the swing with your hips, so that the initial takeaway, you start by turning the hips slightly, and then the upper body just kind of follows and catches up, and then the upper body kind of passes the hips. And at the very top, uh, that momentum is going to tug on your hips. So at the very top of the backswing, your hips are tightening up. Just like in the bullock at the very top, once the whip passes the handle and goes back, it's going to tug on the handle, and then you draw the handle forward and crack the whip. So basically, the golf swing is like that too. You know, so you're going to start with the hips on the backswing. The upper body is just going to follow. It's just going to, and then the momentum is going to at the very top of the swing. It's going to tug on your hips, and that's when you drive your hips forward, and then the rest of your upper body follows. And just like the bullet, you're gonna crack the club head, I guess. But yeah, that's this new idea that I'm gonna incorporate in my swing. And the next time I go out and record, I'm gonna work on that, and then I'll record it, and then I'll let you guys know what happens with that. Anyway, have a good day. See you in the next video.